Okay, so we're back on tutorial. So we're gonna learn now is, okay, so I close my CM there. So you know what, so let's just start it anyway. So we're gonna learn in this tutorial is, I don't know, let's say the global variable. So in this one, man, I'm sleepy as fuck. So let's create mkd directory. We're gonna 06. We're gonna name global variable. So touch main.py clear ls. We're just here. Okay, so damn, clear ls. Mistake. I'm gonna delete this and cd to global variable. Okay, so this is the starting point. So let's create file touch.py. Okay, close this one and open this. Okay, so on this one we're gonna learn global variable, and we learn scope, right? So in this one, so we're gonna learn a little function. So on, in order to proceed this topic, so we're gonna learn function. So there's no main on this one, like on C programming, like every programming language has a C. Did I tell you that all program like will start down to bottom like this? So some program will start on the main. Of course they read this file and they go to the main file. On Python script there's no main anyway. You can make main if you want, but it's like you're gonna overwhelm if I do that. So yeah, so if we create main on this one, it will overwhelm you anyway. And what's the purpose of learning this Python if you're gonna learn C? So yeah, and yeah, so we're gonna break the purpose of learning Python first. If we like, we're gonna learn it in a Python way, and this is the type of approach I'm gonna take. Like I learned programming on C, that's why this is how I approach. So we're learning Python right now, so we're gonna approach it on the Python way. And so on this one we're gonna learn functions. So we're not already tackle functions, so just bear with me and we can get over this. So we're gonna create a variable, for example name, say John. So this is the player name we have, and we're gonna create a, say, I would say moving, I guess. No, let's say player status. So tab, and we want a, let's say global and x. So x is equal to, let's say, if names not exist, we're gonna use the x, say player or something like that. So we're gonna call the function. So this is how we're gonna call function on this one. It's not okay, no def, just only the name. So we're gonna print this, let's say x. So what's the output for this one? Okay, so I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to what's the output for this one. So what will output? It will be John or Flair. So these the two So if you pick player, you're absolutely correct. So we're gonna run this code, python main.py, so it will run player. Okay, so wait. Okay, so I forgot to put the curly braces on it. Not curly braces, the double quotes. Okay, so let's run the code again. So it will return player. So this is scope in general. So we declare X on this one. So there's another topic that we're gonna tackle on this one. It's about the function scope and the indentation. Okay, so this thing will get longer if I explain it right now. So I'm gonna wrap this up quickly, and I don't want to make this a go long tutorial. So on global, did I tell you that on program it will read until it's down? And so X, we have the X to be our variable, but we pass it on function. We create a function that have a variable of X, global X. So it means global, so you can use it on everywhere if you access X. So it will return player. So we overwrite the existing X because it's a variable with the same name. So we have X right here. So on this one, we're default calling the global X. So that's why you should never write complicated program if you're gonna mess up this thing. And yeah, so there's a scope on this one. So you need to make tab for this one. So in here and here, man. So this is how hard I'm gonna explain this on Python. I think you should learn just learn Java or something, syntax language. It's easy to understand this. So you don't know what is scope at this point, and you already fuck up. And yeah, so okay, so this is the scope on the tab. Yeah, this is the tab, right? So this is the function, and we're calling the function, right? Okay, so yeah, so let's copy this. I'm gonna give you another example for this one. Let's say X, something like that. Yeah, so what's the output on this one? So X is X, right? You know what, it's so confusing anyway, so let's say Y. Okay, so this one, so what's the output for this one? Okay, so what's the output of Y on this example? So if your answer is John, you're absolutely correct, and it's not player. So this is the scope. The next example I'm gonna show you. So it's John. So the Y on this one. So we're calling this even after the function call. So why is the reason? So on this one, this function, inside this function we create a Y variable. So this Y variable only exists on this scope, not on the outside of scope though, like this one, on this one scope, and Y is right, it's equal to John. So if that's the another thing that you should remember. So function scope and this scope, the entire file scope anyway, you're gonna start on 1 to 20 until it's down. And yeah, so these two are the scope that should remember. On this one we're calling the global, not this one. So this one is Y, right? Okay, so we're done on the global variables, and yeah, so this is the thing anyway. If you wanna call this y and call the player, you should make a print on here in order to print this, because only on this scope you can access the player name. So this is the scope of y, right? That's why John's gonna print on that one. And yeah, so that's for our tutorial for nasa global variable, and we're gonna go on data types on the next tutorial.